Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Allahumma sabbitna bi indal mauti la ilaha illallah. Allahumma ja'alna min allazina amanu wa amilu salihati wa tawasaw bil haqqi wa tawasaw bis sabr. Amin ya rabbal alameen. We've been speaking for last, including this week, 3 weeks, on the signs of Qiyamah. We come to the end. To close this conversation and move on from next week, starting the Jummah is going to be the 27th night of Rajab, the Miraj. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam describing Sahabis the signs of Qiyamah. During the discussion, when Tamim al-Dari radiyallahu ta'ala anhu was sitting there, he was the very devoted and very pious Christian. And one day he was traveling with 30 people. And the sea was really rough. And they were tossing between the waves for 30 days. Then after 30 days, they end up on the island. And that island that they landed, they anchored the boat and take these small boats, and they see a beautiful land and they start resting on it because they was tired. And in the night, there was back then they used to call a jinn of the wadi for their protection among the Ansar, among the Christians. So they call whoever is a big jinn, protect us. We staying over. So the voice came back that there is no jinn can protect you. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can protect you. So this future Sahabi wants to find out who called on this, and he went forward and see a person. They can't recognize is he from front or back because all the hairs was covered on the head. And they ask, who are you? And he says, I'm Jasasa. And the person says, there is a man in that monastery is longing to see you. He's expecting you. So they went to this person up there, very huge person. That we gave all the details of Dajjal, and he was chained up in that monastery, and he asked few questions like, is that garden giving still fruits in Arab? And they says, yeah, it's giving fruits. And he asked if that Tigris, is that river is giving you water? And they says, yes. And few other questions he asked, and he said, well, very soon all these resources gonna stop. Then I will be among with you. And that is story. And also he asked, how's the Arab treating the Nabiul Ummi? And Tamim al-Dari says, yes, they refused him in the beginning in Makkah, but they start accepting him as a Nabi, and now he settled down in Medina. And he warned that you better follow him. He is the Khatimun Nabiyyin. And when he come back and explain all this story to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then he embraced Islam. And during that warnings from Dajjal, and he says, I'm going to roll the whole world 40 days and 40 nights. except two places, Makkah and Tayyibah. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was listening when he was reminding other Sahabi, and he says, I just confirmed that Tamim al-Dari said that he's not going to be going only two places, that is Makkah and Tayyibah, Medina. And he put the hand on the member and he says, Tayyibah, Tayyibah. So 3 years is going to be, before he comes, 3 years is going to be very horrible. Third of the water Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala stopped in the first year. And the second year, 2/3. And the third year is going to be drought. Completely dry. There will be no water or limited food. And Dajjal, when he's going to camp outside the Medina, is going to be 3 different earthquake strike is going to happen in Medina. And Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, all these people, when they're scared with this earthquake, they're going to run away from Medina. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will purify this Medina from the hypocrites. All the hypocrites is going to run away from Medina. So after all these colossal tests from Muslims, they all going to gather with Imam al-Mahdi in Bayt al-Maqdis. And they're deciding in a night that tomorrow we have to face the enemy. Tomorrow we have to face the enemy. And imagine what happened in the morning in Fajr. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descend the solution. Messiah Isa alayhi salam. Nobody knows that Imam al-Mahdi is going to be prepared in one night only. And no one knows when that situation, when the Isa alayhi salam is going to be among us. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. Then everything is going to go dark. The person can't even see in his own hands. Then Isa alayhi salam is going to be amongst them. With the head down, with the 2 pieces of cloth in a color of beige. When he's going to lift his head, all the moisture is going to come down like a pearls that's scattered on the floor. Imagine the Imam is there and the Isa alayhi salam is there. And somebody have to lead the salah. Then Imam al-Mahdi is going to call, Ta'al salli bina. Come and lead the salah. Then Isa alayhi salam is going to put the hand between the shoulders to Imam al-Mahdi. And he's going to say, this nation, this ummah can lead each other. This is the beauty of ummah, that we can lead each other. In another qawl, Isa alayhi salam says, the Aqama is already called for you. And when they finish the prayer, Salatul Fajr, Isa alayhi salam asked to open the doors. And the doors open, and as soon Dajjal see the Isa alayhi salam, he start melting like a salt and water. And he start to run with his people. And let me tell you a few things that in all these ahadith, how the Ahmad palace is going to look. Back then, there was no minar. Bayt al-Maqdis, east of Damascus, all the landmark that given, it exists now. There was nothing back then. Even with the landmarks that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam described in his ahadith, the reason to continue this conversation all 3 weeks, just to remind those innocent peoples who's becoming a victim of the wrong leadership, that Mahdi alayhi salam is here already 500 years ago. Or some of the part of the world, people is still claiming that Ana Mahdi Ma'ud. They are innocent. They have no idea. The people, the average people. Because we believe in unseen. As soon they look at their appearance, their beard and their amamas and the libasul taqwa, they started believing those leaders. But Islam is complete. There is nothing, left over that we can doubt on it. Everything is crystal clear from Quran and Hadith. So, now you're listening to a person, or you're going to listen to the words of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. That is your main decision. To correct your life and correct yourself. It's not a big mistake that they're doing it, in my view, as an innocence. But if these small mistakes can turn into nar, into the hellfire, that's what the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, a small bidah can turn into a Jahannam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give a right guidance to us and to those innocents who become a victim of their leaders or their wrong leadership on this earth. Wa akhiru du'ana walhamdulillahi.